We're going to talk about nets. If I have a volume or a prism here, okay, and I needed to find the surface area of this prism, and I was actually holding it, I would physically measure each side. I would measure, okay, the top, got to make sure that's right, and I would just go base times height, and then I would go to side 1, and I would go base times height. Okay, the problem though is that most of the time you're going to be given something on a sheet of paper that's two-dimensional, and that makes it difficult. So what we have to do is be able to understand what does this shape look like if we what we call a net. So what happens is it opens up into a six-sided object because as the shape itself has six sides. And now, just like before, we have the same numbers on it. Well, there's the top of where we started. That was the outside piece here. Here was the bottom. That was that outside piece here. This was the one side, 2, 3, and 4. So as you can see, if it folds up into a shape, it's still the same shape even if it gets folded out. That's what we call a net. And you need to be able to understand what it's like to draw a net out into a shape. That also works for cylinders, although it's a little bit harder to see. On a regular cylinder, okay, we have the bottom side. You've got to figure out how I typed it there. We have the top side there. And we have the circumference. As you can see, I wrote it around. Circumference. It's all the way around the circle. Okay? If I then fold this figure out, okay, the circumference becomes a rectangle. Okay? Here it's just a circle. It's winding around the circle itself. But as it folds out, it becomes just a regular rectangle. And then the bottom piece, whoop, there we go, bottom piece is a circle that sits on top. And the other one, there we go, the circle that sits on bottom. So it actually becomes a rectangle with two circles attached to it. Okay, so that's what a net looks like for these types of shapes. You'll have to do that at the end of the assignment.